First, let's just start off with how you got into harmonica in the first place.
I grew up and there were harmonicas around the house. Always fooled around with it. I remember in high school having a moment where I picked it up and was trying to fool with imitate some harmonica that I heard in a rock song. But when I went to college, I was taking some guitar instruction there, and through that guitar instruction I became aware of some of the finger-picking guitar styles, the ragtime finger-picking style, and some of the blues open tuning with the bottleneck slide styles. And it was really listening to a lot of blues stuff that I started to hear the harmonica more, and it was about that time that I started playing and couldn't put it down. I got the disease, and I've still to this day not found the cure.
So when you first started playing in college then, right?
Yes.
Who were your favorite harmonica players that you started listening to?
Well, at that point in time, I was listening to Sonny Terry a lot. I was listening to Big Walter and Little Walter Jacobs. Some of the contemporary players that I was listening to in the very earliest days was Peter Madcat Ruth, Charlie Musselwhite, and Howard Levy, Corky Siegel too. And I'd always had a interest in a lot of the early recordings. I'd come across a record called Harmonica Blues of the 20s and 30s, and I was hearing the harmonica imitate the sound of the train, and I thought that was just completely fascinating. And really, from the earliest days, I was spending quality time trying to learn to imitate the sound of a train. And I think that has expedited my learning process, helped instill in me a lot of good playing habits, really, right from the very, very beginning.
Yeah. Well, I saw your blues school over here. I've seen it once before. So it sounds like you pretty much started off listening to pretty much what you do today.
Very similar, yes. The thing about the harmonica is that I believe firmly that if you can breathe, you can play the harmonica. And I think it's a shame when people try to play and they get frustrated because they're led to believe that you got to do this if you want to be a player, or you got to do that if you want to be a player. It's called a harmonica. It's about playing chords, and I've found that I can teach people beginning blues in a way that when they're done, they can feel very successful at it and not feel overwhelmed by all the fancy, advanced things that can be done. So, I really think that people can play and feel successful right from day one, and I feel like that workshop, back that up.
Well, you said if you can breathe, you can play harmonica. Well, you breathe pretty well compared to some. I don't think I can breathe that well.
Thank you.
So when and where did you meet Eric?
I met Eric teaching at the Old Town School of Folk Music on the north side of Chicago. I'd been teaching there, giving harmonica instruction since early 1992, and I think Eric moved to Chicago from Ohio in about 95 or 96, and I met him there. But it was really, I gave a lecture on East Coast harmonica styles before a Cephas and Wiggins show at the Old Town School. And I gave my lecture with Steve Cushing, and Eric opened up for Cephas and Wiggins, and then they did their set. And this was about 7 years ago or so, and I connected with Eric, and really I was at a place where thinking that it would be really nice to start up a blues project with somebody, and he was looking for the same thing. And a couple months later, he'd received some extra grant money from the Illinois Arts Council, and he was doing an internship down the road a bit, down 39 at Mendota, and he had me come and sit in a day with him and do some kids workshops at the school. And we definitely, at that point in time doing the thing in Mendota, decided that we should try to do some gigs together. So we started playing together, and it never stopped.
All right.
And we're very fortunate that, like, the demand for what we do is steadily growing, and we got another European tour in the fall and are gearing up, believe it or not, as of now, gearing up to do a Australian tour in February and a Brazilian tour in March.
Cool.
Very lucky.
That sounds great. When you, by the way, I love the IC special.
Oh, thank you.
Great CD.
Thank you.
When you sit down and write music, do you find yourself wanting to add new modern techniques or sounds to your stuff, or do you just kind of stick with the older stuff?
Well, the answer to that is if the situation calls for it. I like the old stuff because I think it showcases what the harmonica does best, which is play chords and do it in the modal positions, which basically means mainly first, second, third position, little bits, fourth and fifth, occasionally some others. Treating the harmonica like a saxophone and playing it melodically all the time, it doesn't really suit the kind of music that we do. You got to remember, we're a duo, so we're really trying to fill the role of multiple musicians. So when I play the harmonica, I'm really thinking, when can I play chords and when can I do it very rhythmically? And if modern contemporary styles and techniques help sell the song, then you can bet I'll do it, but it seldom happens.
You guys sound really good together.
Thank you.
Say that. I haven't seen you live yet, though, so I'm looking forward to this show here.
Well, I hope that you're not tired of hearing us by the end of the set.
Oh, I'm sure I won't be.